the Irish Phil from Warchant.
Hey, Cameron, how you doing?
What's up, Aaron? I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, Coach Norvell was talking about, he's felt good about what you guys have done up to this point, but it sounded like he really wants, an even higher emphasis on the details this week and really hone in on what you guys are doing. Can you feel the intensity? I know you guys are intense all the time, but do you feel like things are even ratcheting up a little bit even more as you get closer to game time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like the structure of game week, because we kind of had a game week structure last week, but we didn't finish off with the game on Saturday. But the structure of game week, that we start off with the intensity very, very high and very, very detail oriented, and then towards the later end of the week, we'll start to slow it down and then pick it back up before game day. So we emphasize the details all week, and at the beginning of the week, they're really, really emphasized, and then we carry that over throughout the rest of the week and then roll into game day. So I definitely feel an emphasis on the details.
Next will be Brendan Snow from Noles People Show.
Hey, Cam, how's it going?
Doing good, Brendan.
So going off of Ira's question, I guess now that you're here in game week, I know it's just such a weird off season. Does it feel kind of surreal that there's a game coming up in a few days, or are you just so into it where it's just laser focused right now? I guess, how are you feeling just a few days away from playing?
Well, when you look at what's going on in the country right now and the fact that some conferences are playing and some conferences aren't playing, I would just say that I definitely feel blessed that I'm in a position to do what I do every day, and that is play football, because a lot of people my age and my position got that taken away from them. So it's definitely surreal, and it's a blessing that I have a game coming up on Saturday. But you also try to live in the moment and just control what you can control. So it's a great feeling.
Go to Adlon Holiday from Warchant.
Cam, do you look at all that? I mean, we looked at the depth chart, but when Terry and Warren Thompson are out wide, and you're running, between the seams, just what sort of excitement does that give you, and does it open things up for you when there's guys like that on the outside?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you have two dominant players on the outside, and Keyshawn really too, because Keyshawn has the ability to stretch the field as well. It really takes the emphasis off the middle of the field, and I can do my part on trying to get the defense to structure their defense to stop the middle of the field more, and that way it'll free up some space on the outside. So we really play off each other, and we complement each other very well. So I feel like this combination of guys that we got right now is, like I said, we complement each other well, and I'm excited to see the product on Saturday.
Hey, speaking of Warren Thompson, what have you seen from him since he came back to the team? I know it was a difficult time for him and Coach Norvell kind of working through that, but does he seem – is it just like it was before, or do you see anything different from him since he's been back?
Well, since he's been back, I can just see a commitment to just having a great mindset and approaching practice every day with, I got to get better today, I got to attack my 1%, because it's easy to have that mindset within this program because that's the standard, but I see Warren emphasizing that every day because he always has a smile on his face. He's ready to practice, and when he's in the right state of mind, he's almost unstoppable. So I definitely see an improved mindset from Warren.
Go back to Brendan from 247.
I know you've worked hard on this in the off season to gain a little bit of extra weight so you can help become a more complete tight end, work on blocking. I guess, how do you feel like you've done as a blocker in the preseason? How confident are you in that skill set going into the year?
Well, the way Coach Thompson emphasizes the run game and emphasizes technique in the run game, I feel like I'm more prepared than ever to be a dominant force in the run game. So I'm definitely excited about Saturday to show what I can do, not only in the pass game, but in the run blocking game as well. So like you said, mass moves mass, and I was able to get my weight up. Thanks to Coach Storm's staff, and I'm really excited about just being able to show it.
I guess kind of along those lines, you've worked alongside them throughout the preseason. You worked alongside them throughout games. What have you seen from the offensive line, the strides they've made, kind of since you're able to return to team activities to now?
I just think that the way Coach Atkins coaches them on a daily basis is, I know I say this about a lot of the coaches, but the way Coach Atkins approaches the offensive line play on a daily basis, they have to live up to the standard of excellence, and if they don't, they're going to know about it. So I definitely see improved offensive line play, and I'm just excited for those guys to get an opportunity to, rewrite the narrative about the Florida State offensive line and they're not going to be the weak link of the team anymore. I think they're one of the strongest units on the team, and I'm just excited for them to go out there and show it as well. It just really comes down to a lot of excitement for the whole team.
Like Ira from Warchant.
Hey, Cameron, you touched on it earlier. Do you have? I assume you've got to have friends from high school and growing up who are at colleges that aren't playing college football right now. What's that been like? Just hearing that, I assume it makes you appreciate the opportunity you guys have even more.
Right, being that I'm from the West Coast, I have a lot of friends who play for Pac-12 teams, and they've expressed their disappointment in the fact that they're not having a season, and they told me to, take advantage of it and understand how blessed I am, and I'm in a position to do what I do on a daily basis, and that's play football. And a lot of people had that taken away from them, so it's definitely a blessing.
Harry from Tomahawk Nation.
Cam, you said focusing on football, but something you've been passionate about is like reaching out and helping people in their time of need. I know, again, the main focus is on football season right now, but have you put any thought into kind of doing that community work again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that I want to carry out and do for the rest of my life. I'm trying to start a 501c3 nonprofit organization with my family. So serving the community is going to be something that I do for the rest of my life. But obviously during football season, I have to scale it back a little bit and focus on the task at hand, which is winning football games, because that's what I'm here at Florida State to do, is receive an education and play football. But serving the community is something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I appreciate you for recognizing that. Thank you.
Go back to Vernon.
When the depth chart came out yesterday, we saw Preston Daniel on there for a walk-on true freshman to work his way up into the depth chart to compete for reps. I guess, what has he done this preseason to put himself in that position, Cam?
He's just consistent on a daily basis. He's not up and down. He's the same guy every single day, which is a great football player who really knows the playbook, and the coaches have a lot of confidence in him and his ability. So Preston's consistency is really what helped him get himself onto the depth chart and be a factor on the team this year as a true freshman walk-on. That's pretty big and impressive.
You've sort of seen firsthand a lot of the different situations James Blackman's had to deal with as quarterback here at Florida State. Just what are your sort of opinions right now, and just how would you kind of assess the way James has maybe progressed? Has he this offseason and in game week?
Oh, I definitely feel like James has progressed as not just as a football player, but as a leader. He's kind of taken me under his wing. We kind of got that tight end quarterback connection where he's talked to me about me being his safety valve, and when all things break down, he's coming to me. He has a lot of confidence in me. We're always talking about what I see, what he sees, and how we can get together. We spend a lot of time getting extra reps after practice. So his leadership was very, very high before, but it's at the highest level it's been up to this point in his career where I've been with him. So I'm excited about really him rewriting his narrative too, because a lot of people are asleep on Black. So I'm excited for him.
All right. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you, guys.
Next, we will have Warren Thompson.